Now it's time for America's Talking, with headlines from across the country that you can find in the description below or in your inbox with the Center Square newsletter, free at thecentersquare.com. A Virginia Circuit Court judge blocking certification of a special election tied to the state's redistricting amendments, and that election just happened Tuesday. Now the state officials preparing to appeal the decision, and candidate filing deadlines just 5 weeks away. The Center Square reporter, Charlene Guerrera, reports the referendum was decided by voters this week. With all precincts in, the Virginia Department of Elections ruled the yes votes an official winner, unofficial, at 51.5% to 48.6% from the more than 3 million votes that were cast Tuesday. The total, still pending mail votes, counted by noon Friday. On Wednesday, they were about 1.5 million to 1.4 million, and a hearing was held in Tazewell County, Virginia, Circuit Court, in an injunction case challenging that referendum. According to court records, the case involves plaintiffs like the Republican National Committee and other GOP-affiliated groups, and names the Virginia Department of Elections among the defendants. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis in Jacksonville Wednesday slamming the ideology behind what he calls discrimination of white males, saying it would protect taxpayers of Florida. The second-term Republican applied signature to proposals linked to diversity, equity, and inclusion policies and to environmental, social, and governance policies and investments, commonly and respectively known as DEI and ESG. The governor said residents should not be forced to pay for radical climate agendas or identity politics with their hard-earned tax dollars. The Center Square managing editor Alan Wooten reports DeSantis said the diversity ideology promotes a political agenda to the detriment of disfavored groups. Openness and transparency is now an issue in Wisconsin's race for governor. The Center Square contributor Benjamin Yount reports Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who is one of 7 Democratic candidates for the state's top seat, last week said she would craft a new state budget in secret to avoid Democratic opposition if she's elected in November. Rodriguez's focus on working with Democratic leaders behind the scenes is also a bit of criticism of how Governor Tony Evers crafted 3 of his 4 state budgets. Evers routinely worked on budgets on his own, then delivered his spending plan to lawmakers. A number of Democratic lawmakers didn't like that approach. Soccer fans leaving Lincoln Financial Field this summer after the World Cup matches in Philadelphia will be able to ride SEPTA for free. Announced earlier this week, Airbnb has teamed up with Philadelphia Soccer 2026 to provide complimentary bus rides from SEPTA's Broad Street line after all 6 FIFA World Cup matches in South Philadelphia. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro celebrated that announcement, saying that the sport's big business in Pennsylvania and a key part to what makes the Commonwealth. He says a great place to live and visit. Airbnb's listed as an official FIFA World Cup 2026 tournament supporter, while Philadelphia Soccer 2026 is the nonprofit local organizing committee for FIFA World Cup in Philadelphia. And that's just some of what America is talking about. Again, get these stories in the description below, but you can also get them in your inbox. Subscribe to the newsletter at thecentersquare.com.